Good afternoon, all. CamelbackTrading.org coming to you this Tuesday afternoon, April 9th. We are looking at Window Traders market profile of the ES and the NQ. So I want to put things in context because I think a lot of people probably had rough days today. We are still, for 3 full days, okay, that's 39 time frames, Friday, Monday, Tuesday, trading inside of Thursday's 4 time frames, JKLM. That's it. That's the bigger picture look. If you look at it that way, it might keep you out of trouble because these intraday moves have been pretty awesome, right? Today is our 7th largest range of the year. And our volume stinks, though, only like a little over 60 million right now. We gapped higher today. The goal of that gap was to get to 2 poor highs. They got that. They failed. It was an inside day up. Failed miserably. So 4 out of 17 on upside gaps. Then they rip and take out yesterday's low. Inside day down. 2 large sets of single prints. Only to take those all back, as in the trend days down to 6 out of 37 only this year. Horrible record. And we do not have an outside day down or up. Right? Although we tried everything. Righty tried to have an outside day up late in the day. They end with a 10 wide POC. That's it. NQ ends with a 10 wide POC. And that's it. The day's high and low. And we end with a 9 wide point of control and the day's high and low. I had a good day. I got off to a rough start, but I ended up with a good day. So these algos, right, even though the price movement is all over the place, they really go and get specific things. So in A period, it was the poor highs. Then we go trend down, real vicious selling in B and C, only to totally dry up in D, never get near the day's low, and then spend the entire day up until L period trading in C's range for the most part. And then we take back to trend day. Once we broke above G's high, their mission was to fill the singles, and that's exactly what they did. Again, you have CPI tomorrow morning, 10-year bond auction and at 1, and then the Fed minutes at 2. So should be another interesting day. Again, that we're not going to get a directional move until we get this is the key word, acceptance above either Thursday's high or low. If you just pop above and fail, this crap is going to continue. If you get acceptance above it, you're going to blow through all this and take out all the all-time high, overnight POCs, overnight all-time highs, things of that nature. If you get acceptance below Thursday's low, you're probably going to go for some more weekly lows and eventually put the weekly down. Okay? Until that happens, you're going to get what we just saw. All right? I think being in my room is a huge, huge benefit because we try to keep you safe during these type of moves. And to that end, I am running that special. $80 for a quarter or $225 for the annual. But they have to both, either one have to be paid by either my Venmo or PayPal. Email me, paul@camelbacktrading.org. for more for my those accounts. So I started the day. I actually took a short in both ES and NQ pre-market because I thought they would front run the overnight high. Well, they didn't. But as soon as they came in, I took them off for minimal, and I mean minimal gains. Should have held on to them. They didn't do anything else after that up there. But once they got the overnight high, that was the purpose of that trade. I thought they'd front run it and come in. They didn't. I took it off. So, if I had been a little more patient, would have made money, but that's fine. Then I took a long in NQ against the gap fill. Thought we'd get a responsive bounce off of that. We did not. Took a loss on that. Not huge, about 15 points. It was only a 1 lot. Then in the ES and A period, I took a long on a pullback and made a couple of points on that. Then when it really pushed lower, I took a long against both the overnight POC and yesterday's POC, and then took those off for about a 6-point loss. So after A period, I was down on the day. Not a lot, but I was down. I was down about 4 points in ES and 15 points in NQ. I took a short in B period in NQ against half back at the time. I ended up breaking even on that. But then when B pushed up again against the POC, the overnight POC from yesterday, and the POC took a short there and got paid on that. Then in C period, I took a short in NQ with the ebb and flow against the single prints. We had a nice large set of single prints. I did okay. However, on the 15-minute turnover, I thought because the market was so strong pushing down, I took a 5-lot short right before the turnover in NQ, and it ran 10 points against me. I took it off. Took a 50-point loss on that. Okay? But I would have been right if I held it because it pulled back. So silly me for getting that big. I thought for sure instead of pushing up 10 points, we'd push down 10 points right away. We ended up making lows, but by that, I took it off. If I wasn't that big, I wouldn't have taken it off. I got that. It got it all back and more, though. In D period, against the single prints in NQ. In E period, took a short when they first filled the single prints. In C, that backed off a bit, made money on that. Everything was NQ the rest of the day. I had a very good F and G period. I'm like, I didn't think we were going to take back this trend day. Now, we did late, but I didn't think we would. But for my purposes, it didn't matter because I did very well. Took a short. I took a bunch of shorts in F and G period and NQ, which kept rolling over and paying me. So I was doing well on that. I got back all those 50 points and more. And then I did take a trade in M. When they first ripped up and got above the single print fill, I took a 3-lot, got 8 points out of it for 24 points. And then I did it again for a 2-lot for like another 7 points, for like another 14. And I wasn't going to try the third time as they started running up real late in the time frame. So a rough start, a poor trade, poor size trade. Although at that time I really thought it was a decent size to take because I really thought we were going to push down hard the way B and C were going. But took it all back and more. Ended up having a good day. These have not been easy days all of last week and so far this week. And that's because of the balance. You're just shopping with emotional trading inside of these balances, creating gaps, trend days, all things of that sort, only to have them all taken away also. As far as destinations, we only have 520.75 as our upside in SPY, downside 516.91 9 wide, and 514.35. In ES, we have our upside at 74.25, and then of course the single print fills, that you should have that from the other day. We have our 9 wide pocket 35.25 and today's low at 08.25. I don't think I'm going to give out reference points anymore. I think just talking about what happened on the day, what where I was, my trade locations and why, and then going over the charts. I think it takes too much time, and I think people who are in my room paying me should have the luxury of getting that. So anyway, and then on the chart, so here's the weekly. Remember, we've had tremendous movement these last couple of weeks on some of these daily time frames, even though we only have one day over $10 this year. And we've still only taken out one weekly low. So again, this is a 4-week balance, including this week. So even when we come out of Thursday's high or low, it's not necessarily coming out of the balance on the weekly. It would on the daily, that's for sure. So the weekly is still in a 4-week balance. The daily is in a 6-day balance. So if we take out Thursday's low, again, it's not necessarily the balance low yet. But hopefully you'd get some tempo and volume and things of that sort to get it going towards the weekly lows, or vice versa. Now here's that trend line I had put in from yesterday where I thought change started taking place after this whole mess here. Look how we bounced. We got back and forth again. I don't care about the 20-day moving average. It doesn't matter to me if we back and forth through it, close below it a day or 2 days or whatever. We closed above it today. No big deal. Means nothing to me right now. What means a lot to me is Thursday's high or low. Hope you had a good day trading today. Thank you for liking and subscribing to this channel. Enjoy your evening. And we'll speak prior to the opening tomorrow.